kita berjalan, bersediakah kita? Nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama Dinamik. Waktu kita berjalan, bersediakah kita? Nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama Dinamik. Waktu kita berjalan, bersediakah kita? Nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama Dinamik. Waktu kita berjalan, bersediakah kita? Nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama Dinamik. Waktu kita berjalan, bersediakah kita? Nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama Dinamik.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, segala puji-pujian bagi Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Program Impak SPM Sesi 2023-24 telah berlangsung dengan jayanya. Semenjak 14 Jun tahun lalu, sebanyak 63 sesi kelas maya mingguan bagi 6 subjek teras SPM telah dilangsungkan. Syukur program bengkel bersemuka bersasar Impak SPM telah diperluaskan kepada daerah baru iaitu di Raub, di Pahang dan Kubang Pasu di Kedah secara hybrid. Sesungguhnya, budi dan bakti pihak Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri JPN, pejabat pendidikan daerah dan pengetua-pengetua sekolah berkaitan amat dihargai kerana telah bersama-sama menjayakan program Impak SPM dari mula hingga ke hari ini. Yayasan Impang ingin merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada guru cemerlang MGCNK kerana telah memberikan komitmen yang mantap dan padu untuk membantu para pelajar membuat persediaan menghadapi dan meningkatkan pencapaian dalam periksaan SPM 2023-24. Syabas guru-guru, jasa guru amat besar, amat kami kenang. Tidak dilupakan kepada para penyumbang Yayasan Sultanah Bahiyah, Badan Amal Kasih Sayang, Yayasan Taqwa Mawib, Kelab Bakti Gunung Keledang dan para dermawan. Semoga Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala memberkati usaha sama ini ke arah kecemerlangan yang didambakan terhadap pelajar kita. Di sini kita mendoakan dan mengharapkan bahawa para pelajar SPM 2023-24 akan mampu menghadapi peperiksaan dengan jayanya dan insya-Allah mendapat kejayaan yang cemerlang. Justru saya menyeru dan mengharapkan lebih ramai menyertai program kita ini, terutama pada tahun 2024-2025 nanti. Beberapa konsep baru serta struktur program telah ditambah baik sesuai dengan perubahan semasa dalam dunia pendidikan. Akhir sekali, marilah kita bersama-sama bertaut niat, berpadu usaha untuk membantu anak bangsa kita ini supaya berjaya dalam akademik, sahsiah dan berjaya dalam kehidupan, insya-Allah. Dengan ini, saya merasmikan majlis penutupan program Impak SPM 2023-24. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Liva, pernah dengar tak program 4SPM? Program 4SPM? Program intervensi meningkatkan pencapaian aspirasi kecemerlangan 4SPM. Program 4SPM dah kembali. Program apa tu? Program ni untuk membantu pelajar 3 kata 5 macam kita semua, cara untuk skor markah dan cara untuk jawab soalan dengan mudah. Program ni percuma tau. Wah, macam mana nak join? Boleh scan QR code yang tertera atau tekan link yang disediakan, ataupun boleh juga layari laman sisawang yayasan infak.my. Jom dapat 4SPM.
Jom mendaftar dalam program Impak SPM sesi 2024-25 untuk dapatkan manfaat bersama. Boleh hubungi admin Anas untuk sebarang maklum balas atau pertanyaan. Jangan lupa follow, like dan subscribe social media Yayasan Impak.
Apakah konsep program 4SPM?
Program virtual atau online yang berlangsung setiap malam Selasa dan Khamis.
Program bersemuka yang diadakan secara bersasar melalui pilihan JPN dan PTV.
Program hybrid di mana kita boleh saksikan program banker secara online di mana-mana sahaja kita berada.
Dan juga program pasca bimbingan daripada guru cemerlang secara terus, dan juga hanya bimbingan selepas SPM.
Program 4SPM ada berapa subjek?
Ada bahasa Melayu dan sejarah.
English, Mathematics.
Pendidikan Islam dan Sains.
Kalau program 4SPM, apa yang menarik?
Apa yang menarik? Kawan-kawan berpeluang untuk memenangi hadiah bertuah. Contohnya daripada hadiah dana penuh, quiz online, nombor pendaftaran dan banyak lagi.
Dan juga nota dan latihan yang dapat diakses di e-portal iaitu Moodle secara percuma hanya dengan mendaftar di program 4SPM.
Video rakaman secara online juga dapat ditonton secara ulangan di social media Yayasan Impak.
Jom apa? Kita semua join
Impak
SPM.
Kita berjalan bersediakah kita, nak tunggu apa lagi? Mari berjaya bersama di Impak. Waktu kita berjalan bersediakah kita, nak tunggu apa lagi? semua menuju kejayaan. Inilah permulaan melakar cita-cita, pasti akan terhasil. Ayo kita semua menuju kejayaan. Inilah permulaan melakar cita-cita, pasti akan terhasil. Ayo kita semua menuju kejayaan. Inilah permulaan melakar cita-cita, pasti akan terhasil. Ayo kita semua menuju kejayaan. Inilah permulaan melakar cita-cita, pasti akan terhasil. Ayo kita semua menuju kejayaan. Inilah permulaan melakar cita-cita, pasti akan terhasil.
Hello. Assalamualaikum.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum.
Okay. Alright. Can we? How are you, Alif?
Hi Teacher Aiman, I'm doing fine. A bit under the weather during the holidays, but otherwise it's fine. How about you?
Me too. Been 2 weeks already. Macam dah tahu je kan, when it comes to holiday, dan demam.
Dia tak bagi happy, dia bagi sakit rehat.
Guilty, yeah. Okay. Anyway, tonight, we'll be covering listening, inshallah. Okay, I am sure that the students still haven't got their result for listening test yet because they set for it the day before the school holiday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are in the holiday moods right now.
So I'm not really so sure whether we have any viewer or not tonight. I was just disappointed sikit.
Kita view masing-masing, it's okay.
Okay, shall we start? When I go through our slides, I thought, quite a lot. So hopefully you'll be able to cover all.
We can cut short a few questions maybe that students can try on their own.
So students, if you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the live chat box and we will try to address those questions throughout our session tonight. Okay, next slide. Gambar kita pula. Okay. So basically, when it comes to 1119 paper 4, your listening test, there are 4 parts. I don't think that we want to cover in details here. I think that most of you have already familiar with the format of your listening test. So we have short dialogues and monologues for part 1, the long monologue for part 2, and for this part of the test, students will have to answer 8 questions based on one audio, one monologue. Okay, and then for part 3, we have matching questions where they have to identify which speaker said what. Okay, and for part 4 is note completion, and they will have to listen to a long dialogue, and normally it's an interview. Okay, so next slide. So why do you need to take your listening test seriously, people? Comment in the chat box. Why? Why, Alif? You know what, Alif? When I ask my students this kind of question, kan, they will be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it's important to know how to listen. Be a good listener because you need to communicate with people, because you need to interact with other people. All those are true, but
So
for
very student answers. Good
ah, but
answers.
here's the thing: you all are SPM candidates. No
Mm-hmm.
doubt, all skills are important. But when we're talking about how to score for your SPM, some students they take listening very lightly, especially
True.
those who feel that they're already good in English. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
speak the language. So because teachers like us, when it comes to listening tests, we do practice as well, isn't it?
True. I
I
agree.
remember back in uni days kan, Allah, listening test kan, we will do revision. But our students, it seems like some, not all, I'm not generalizing all,
True.
but some students, they take this very lightly. So why is it that you have to take your listening test seriously? Number one, the total mark is 30 and the weightage is 25%. So it means for every 1 mark, it is equivalent to 0.8%. So those SPM candidates, once you got your trial result, you need to check your ETR, whether or not your trajectory is towards your ETR. Otherwise, if let's say you target, say you want to get 80, but now you're at 60. So what is it that you need to do next? Many students, when I ask them, so what's the next step? You know what they say to me, Alif? Cliche juga lah ni kan. I will have to do more exercises. I need to improve my vocab and grammar. I have to work hard. Okay, but those are a bit macam
General sangat.
it's not clear. So what is it that you want to do? So by
Mm-hmm.
knowing the value of every 1 mark in your paper, you will be able to identify areas that you need to work on in order for you to achieve whatever targets for your SPM.
Yeah, which paper, which section particularly.
Sections, exactly. Don't look at the paper as a whole, tak boleh. You have to break it
Mhm.
down into parts. Reading, you break it into 5 parts.
Yeah,
Writing, you break it into 3 parts and then you break to 4 parts pula for every single criteria macam tu. Okay, so yeah. Sekian buka dimah hari ni.
that's
Dah
for holiday session.
pula kan. Okay, okay. Now let's without further ado, let's go to first part of our listening test, which is the short monologues and dialogue.
Yeah. So I'll be taking over this part. All right. So before we begin, I hope you all still remember. In part one, there are 7 questions, and each of the question has each individual clips. So that's why we call them short dialogues or monologues. Okay. So first thing that you need to understand is the purpose of the question. What does the question want? So don't just listen to the audio saja. You need to read the question. Sebab tu dia bagi 30 saat. The 30 seconds is for you to read and identify keywords like accept, which one, or which is true, or something like that, the author's opinion or something. So dengar saja tak guna. Sometimes the information is a lot, but they might want only one part of the information, okay, as we will see in our practice later. So understand the specific details, identify the main idea based on the audio or the question that wants you something from you, and then recognize the attitude of the opinion of the speaker or speakers, depending how many speakers are on the audio. Okay, so to generate tips for everyone.
Can I
Okay,
just interrupt very quickly, Cik?
okay,
Kok hang
sure,
macam interrupt very quickly je kan?
no problem.
Anyway, I like the fact that you said, how to utilize that 30 seconds given to you. Many students, okay, this is the things that I observe from my students' behavior lah. When they, I don't know whether Ibrahim have got this problem or not. When they read the questions, during the 30 seconds given to them, they'll be like this. Okay, okay, good questions, okay. I understand all the words, okay. That's it. That is not reading through the question. That is not what Mr. Alif meant when he
Mhm.
said that you have to read through the question. What he actually meant is when you read the question, you read with a purpose. to try and understand the requirement of the question, the task. What is it that the questions wants from you? Do you have to identify a date? Do you have to identify opinions? Do you have to identify mood of the speaker? What is it? Bukannya you read through, okay, I understand all this English written down here and I'm happy about it. No. Okay.
This is not reading people. You need to read the purpose of the question. That's what teacher Aiman is saying.
Okay. Moving on.
All right. Okay, next, in the first part of our paper 4, you will listen to people talking in 7 different situations, as I mentioned earlier, 7 different audio clips. Okay, don't guess the answer options too quickly. This is where it traps even good students. They dengar the keyword, same as the sentence. That's the answer. Padahal mungkin they paraphrase the answer a little bit in the choice on A, B, or C. So listen carefully to the words and expressions they use to work out which of the answer option is actually correct. Okay, so remember to listen to their tone as well, tone of voice as well. Don't just, listen like monotonous and things like that. You always have to check out the tone. Is it angry, sad, happy? Is it question tone? Macam-macam. So macam awak sembang dengan member lah kan. You need to know the tone. Is it this member is angry at you or what kan? Okay.
Focus voice.
Okay, next I think should be the question. Yeah, okay. So with that, we shall try a set of questions. Maybe not all. We will pick 2 or 3 depending on our time. Okay, so question 1 in your exam paper, you won't get this audio transcript. Of course, this is the audio part which we have transcribed for you. So the first thing you identify, as I mentioned earlier, you will hear people talking in 7 different situations. For question 1 to 7, choose the correct answer A, B, or C. So in your OMR nanti, jangan pandai-pandai tambah D pula. Okay, it's only A, B, or C. The machine will not detect your answer and you will get free 0 marks. Not free 1 mark, free 0 marks. So be careful when you do this. Even good students, they forgot about the OMR part. They only know how to circle the answer in the question paper. Okay, don't forget to always transfer your answers. Okay, the audio recording will be repeated once again. So two recordings for you to listen carefully. The first one normally for good students is where you listen. The second one for you to double check the answers. But for medium or weaker students, use both of the audio to back up which part you missed. Tak apa, jangan risau. Kalau tak dan check, at least both you can confirm by that way. If the good student, don't just overconfident yourself. You have to double check at the second recording, repeat version of the audio. All right. So let's try this one. The woman feels that the most difficult part of learning Korean is the. So this is you're supposed to complete by choosing whether A, B, or C. Meaning this is a straightforward question. They tak ada accept which one or which one do you think is wrong, something like that. This is straightforward. You are supposed to continue this sentence. So in the audio clip, there are 2 people going to speak for you, but in this case, it's going to be both Teacher Aiman and myself. Okay. So Teacher Aiman, can you help me be the woman in the conversation?
I'm going to be the woman learning Korean.
Yes.
안녕하세요.
Teacher Aiman.
Okay, start.
Okay. So question 1, you'll hear a conversation about Korean language lesson. Hey, how are your Korean lessons going?
It's been challenging, but also rewarding. My teacher has complimented my Korean grammar multiple times. I guess all the Korean dramas I've watched really paid off. However, my pronunciation still needs some work, but I'm getting there.
How about writing in Korean? Is it just as hard?
Oh, it's by far my biggest struggle. Korean writing is so different from all the other languages I know.
I think you should keep at it. You've already made good progress with grammar. With practice and time, I'm sure you'll improve your other skills too. All right, so the audio will say, listen again, they will repeat the audio once more time. Okay, so there are a few things that the women replied to the men asking the questions about Korean language lesson. So the first thing, they mentioned something about pronunciation and grammar. But those are not the thing that is the most difficult according to the woman, the person studying the Korean language. And then check again. That's when it traps some of the students who were overconfident. Oh, they said something about grammar. Oh, something about pronunciation. Those might be the answer, but no, you have to listen the whole thing. Okay. And once you listen the whole thing, you realize that the woman would say that writing is the hardest form in learning the Korean language, according to the woman. Of course, it's personal, hence the author's opinion. Therefore, their answer should be which one? Anyone trying? Yeah, I think people are saying the holiday.
This part of the test kan, Alif. Some students, they take it as, okay, I need to identify which word is mentioned in the audio. But unfortunately, everything will be mentioned. Almost all the answer alternatives will be mentioned in the audio.
That's what the
So
trap
it is
of the
not
book.
a race whether or not which word you pick up first, bukan. Which word you pick up first and then you put in the answer, no, cannot. You must make sure that you faham. When it comes to listening test, you listen to comprehend. Listening for comprehension. Listen to untuk faham, bukannya untuk, okay, I can hear this word, so this is the answer. No, it's not like that. So girl said A, writing.
Is it the most difficult part of learning Korean based on the woman? Well, definitely. She said it in the last sentence that he mentioned is by far my biggest struggle. Korean writing is so different from all the other languages I know. It's the biggest struggle, meaning it's the most difficult for the woman compared with grammar or pronunciation. So betul lah tu. Congratulations, someone's girl.
Okay. Sir Ahmad, I think,
Oh,
okay,
we are going
I'm
too fast.
playing too fast. I've asked my
Okay,
students to
okay.
try. And then, okay, we will try to slow down a little bit. Do you mind if we mix a bit with Malay? Would that be okay with you all?
Yeah, that's what
I
my
am actually
previous students also
concerned with,
mix up.
okay, we will try to mix a bit now. Okay, next question.
All right, so let's check question number 2. Okay, the question says here, regarding the new library, both people agree that they like this is similar concept as question 1 earlier. They give you a straightforward question about exception ataupun yang mana salah, yang mana kurang tepat dan sebagainya. Masih just continue the sentence still. Okay, so again, we'll try this one once more. So question 2, you'll hear a conversation about a new library. Hey, have you checked out the new library yet? I went there yesterday and the collection of books is amazing.
Really? It seemed pretty standard to me.
What do you mean? They have such a diverse and interesting collection.
Well, I guess I didn't pay much attention to the books, but I did appreciate the quiet study rooms.
I found the rooms a bit too dim for my liking. Do you sit on the new chairs at the reading area? They are so comfortable. I could have sat there for hours just reading.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's going to become a popular spot in the library.
Absolutely. All right. So this will be a bit of a longer explanation, audio clip compared to question 1 earlier. But sama juga, dia masih minta regarding the new library, which part of this A, B or C yang dua-dua orang agree. Which one they come with the agreement with. Because one of them like a certain part of the library and the other did not like this part, the same part as the first person. So yang mana yang dua-dua agree, that's the keyword here. Alright, so let's check for anyone who's trying an answer. I think the answer is B. 2 people have answered B, so let's check, Teacher Aiman. Okay, the reading area is where both of the students agree upon that they like, or the reading area. So let's have a look. So fortunately, kita ada script dah. Kalau in the exam you don't have the script, you have the audio for you to double check. So let's check. Have you checked the new library? Okay, seems pretty standard. Okay, interesting collection. So man A would say interesting collection of books as the thing that he likes. But the woman did not agree so.
Yeah.
But she appreciated the quiet study rooms. So A is what the woman said. Okay, but the man tak setuju lah. I found the rooms a bit too dim for my liking. Dia rasa malap mungkin sesuai untuk tidur instead of study. Okay, so this is not the answer because they disagree, A and C. So most of you answered B earlier. Let's continue.
Did you sit
Yeah.
on the new chair at the reading area? They're so comfortable. I couldn't agree more. I
Yes.
think it's going to become a popular spot in the library. Yes. So the
This
answer
is
is
the key word here.
B. Very good.
I couldn't agree more bukan negatif. It means
Yeah.
this person is agreeing with you. I can't agree with you, terbalik. Saya tak setuju dengan awak. I couldn't agree more, meaning the person is agreeing with you actually. So this is the phrase to use lah. Okay, walaupun kita nampak couldn't means negative, meaning tak setuju, but you have to read the sentence first and how they are used. Therefore, both of them agreed that the reading area is where they both like. Okay, so correct. I think our students that tried B, reading area is what both people agreed upon. Okay. So I hope I wasn't too fast. Hopefully you guys can catch up. Okay. I was looking at the time, but terlaju sikit. Alright, so another tip. I guess this is the third tip. Read through the questions carefully to get an idea of what the recording will be about. So ni masa yang 30 saat tu, you can read the questions, or even after you try it once, you want to confirm your answer, you can read it again, just in case you miss out a keyword here and there. So think about the information the questions have already given you. Okay. Soalan tadi, for example, the both people agreed upon. So that is the keyword. When you are listening, you look for what item these two people agreed upon.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the tip number 3. And then the answer options will also tell about the content of the audio. So you can guess what's the topic about. This is before the 30 seconds or something. When you read the question for part 1, you will guess, oh, this is about library, this is about social media, this is about Korean language lesson or something like that. So boleh agak lah apa yang awak nak cari sepatutnya. That's why it helps you in. Okay. This is one of the question that they put the answer at the last thing. The first 2 things they talk about were not at all related to the question. This is one of those types of questions. Okay. So what made Miss Janice furious? Govin skipped her class. Govin did not do the presentation. Govin did not hand in his project. Well, okay, when you read the question pre-audio, it looks okay, normal. A teacher is angry with the student or something. But when you listen to the conversation, there was no mention of the teacher at all. The teacher wasn't even in the picture. Dia tak ada dalam first part tu lah. Dah hujung-hujung tu baru kawan dia tanya. Alright. So in this case, I guess I'll be friend A and teacher Emma will be Govin.
I'm gonna be COVID. Okay.
Not COVID, yeah. Okay. Alright, so question 3, you will hear a conversation about football game. Right. Did you watch the World Cup last night, Govin?
How could I have missed that? I am an ardent fan of Argentina.
Both teams play well. My favorite is Germany. They lost in the first round itself. I was devastated. Anyway, I thought Morocco would be in the finals.
I missed class today as I stayed awake to watch the game. Miss Janice would be furious because I have not submitted my project work yet.
Okay, you see? Nampak tak dia punya, the issue related to the question main hujung sekali. So this could be one of the type of audio clip that you will get. So dia cakap pasal football, tak related pun dengan homework or something, it's a class. It's probably homework, late, penting or tak hantar kerja sekolah, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have A, Govin skipped her class. Okay. B, Govin did not do the presentation and Govin did not hand in his project work. Okay. While waiting for answers, let's look why A, B, or C is correct or wrong. Okay, we have someone saying C. Okay, so let's have a look one by one, don't worry. Okay, so he missed the class today as he stayed awake to watch the game. So this is A, skip the class of Miss Janice. Okay, is there a reason why Miss Janice would be angry at Govin? Perhaps, but that's not the thing that he mentioned. Miss Janice would be furious because I have not submitted my project work yet.
Yeah.
Okay, hand in. Hand in is a synonym for submission or something.
Yep.
Okay, did not do the presentation. There's no mention of presentation anywhere. We cannot assume project itu adalah presentation. Kan? They just say project. The project can be a scrapbook ke apa ke. I don't know.
Exactly.
So that's not a good way of answering. Oh, dia tak buat. Betul dia tak buat, but dia tak hantar. Maybe dia dah siap sebab dia penting dia tak hantar. We don't know the full information of that. So we cannot guess. One of my earlier tips, jangan guess too quickly. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
One of the earlier tips, jangan guess too quickly because you're confident.
Mm.
That's the problem with overconfidence. Okay, confidence is good, but don't be jumping in conclusion too early.
Mm.
Okay, so we have a lot of answers here. We have C, 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 B, and C. Okay. So the answer should be as the majority answered correctly. Covid did not hand in his project.
Done, kids.
Congratulations everyone. Holiday pun still power. Okay.
Mm.
A is there. Okay. But that's not the reason Miss Janice is angry.
No.
Is an unclear information. Kita tak tahu projek tu bentuk apa. So B is totally incorrect. A is close, but that's not the main reason this teacher will be angry at COVID. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Now it's 8:40. Maybe we can do one more before move to part 2. We have until 9:30. I takut tak sempat. Okay. So this is the type yang there's only one. It's a monologue. Previously, we are listening to dialogue, a form of dialogue. So this is a monologue form. So that's why I was looking for this question. So at least we covered both types.
Yep.
Okay. So for question 4, which is not a description of the okay. A flabby body. B, pinkish skin. And C, rake-like snout. Okay. So question 4, you will hear a teacher talking about an animal. So the goblin shark is a very strange looking creature of the sea. It has pink skin, a shovel-like snout, a row of long pointed teeth, and a rather flabby body. The goblin shark lives at the bottom of the ocean and is most commonly found off the coast of Japan. Its name is taken from the mythical goblins from Japanese folklore. So this is an information kind of audio clip, okay, a one-way information. So the answer should be there, and usually this is a bit long compared with audio clip. Maybe you can, remove some parts kan, boleh buang, this part tak ada kaitan, buang. But this is long and only one person saying, you need to listen fully most of the time.
Yeah.
So not a description. This is another type of question that I want you to highlight. Just now, 1, 2, and 3 probably a straightforward question. In terms of question, not the answer. Yeah, dia memang minta benda tu. Now dia minta yang not, meaning it's a negative form of this question, which is not related. Meaning 2 of these answer, they should be the correct answers.
Yeah.
And one yang dia nak tu, yang salah tu yang dia nak tu. Though this is the other side of the question, bentuk negatif pula. That's why I might be using the wrong term or something, but that's why I differentiate for people to.
When you read the questions the first time, you have to underline, not a description, just to make sure that you are aware and focused that you need to identify out of these 3 which one is not a description of the goblin shark. Questions like this very confusing tau Alif sebenarnya, but yeah, still
even in reading one. So yang ni, kalau some students yang I don't know, they miss their confidence, they terlepas this not, they hear let's say A is the answer yang correct, they just put A, padahal dia nak yang not. If A is correct, then not A, answer dia kan, it cannot be A if A is there. Exactly. So let's have a look. Does the goblin shark has a flabby body? Yeah, it's mentioned as the last item here, and a rather flabby body. See, kalau awak tak dengar not tu, probably you circle this, because A ada and here in the audio ada. Okay, B, pinkish skin. Yes, it has a pink skin here. The first thing that the teacher mentioned about this goblin shark. And then rake-like snout. No, it has a shovel-like snout. That's the difference there. I think some of our students have already answered C.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mr. Akil said, I understand, just have to find the important point exactly. In most questions, find the important keyword, but after you have identified the question dulu lah, kan, don't forget the not and without the not question, those kind of question is why they confuse you, or maybe not even confuse you, just trick you for a short while. Awak terlepas, they're not going to highlight this for you, so it's easy for us to miss it. Okay.
And so even worse, if let's say you answered the first time wrongly and you're so confident with your answer, you don't even listen to the second audio when they repeat the audio, and definitely you lose mark there. And remember, when you lose 1 mark, you're losing 0.8%.
That's a lot, especially if you cannot cover in other papers. This is your best paper. Focus more. Okay, so yeah, the majority of you, I think all of you, yeah, you put C.
Okay, well done.
Correct, very good people, good students. Okay, so next should be, I think it's another tip, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay, so don't panic if you read or hear some words that you don't understand. This is for, in most cases, the weaker students or medium student. Maybe a good student, they would understand the words. So don't panic. Why? Because you can guess the meaning from the context. You can guess the meaning from the context, and even if you can't, you still might be able to answer the question correctly by eliminating the other three options. For example, earlier, you don't know what is rake like snout. Yang tadi tu. But you understand the keyword there was not a description of the goblin shark. Flabby skin and pink skin or something was mentioned. They were mentioned. So walaupun awak tak tahu, let's say I don't know what is the meaning of rake like snout or shovel like snout because I don't work in a garden. Contoh lah. But you can guess because the keyword there is not. So that's where this tip come in. Okay, if you can't, even if you can't understand the word, you can, and you even can't guess the meaning daripada context, you can still answer if you know what is the keyword of the question.
Yeah.
And not just the audio, the question as well. Okay, and then with these ideas in mind, it will help you to choose the best option when you hear the conversation. Right, like just now, okay, dia cari yang mana tak. Yang mana tak mention is the answer. And luckily for you, even if you don't understand all three, but two of them were mentioned, kan? So you should be able to get it. Alright. I think question 5 will just let them see and try if they want to, because it's a bit long. I don't want to take up all the time. Okay, you can have always screenshot this section and then try it again. Okay.
What is the benefit of painting? We can get profit, stress, we can make more friends. Oh, what a beautiful painting. Did you do that?
Yes, I've been learning to paint this past year. I go to classes every Saturday.
I never would have guessed. It looks like you have been painting for years.
Thanks, I'm flattered.
Is it difficult? I've always wanted to try it, but I don't know where to start.
To be honest, there are a lot of things to learn, but part of the fun is just doing it. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect.
Maybe I'll try it.
You should, and it's a great way to deal with stress. Okay, so benefit of painting based on the conversation, not an actual fakta you go research somewhere. A, we can gain profit, dapat duit ke. B, we can reduce stress. And C, we can make more friends. Okay, again, this is mentioned in the audio clip. Even if you are someone who interested dengan art, you dah tahu ada fakta based on an article you read earlier, that's not the answer. Okay, it's always from the audio. And it's mentioned last kali. It's a great way to deal with stress. That's the main keyword here. Okay, got everyone is answering B. Okay, good. You guys are perfect. Okay, B is the answer based on the audio clip, bukan dah daripada your prior knowledge. Okay. Okay. Alright. Ni kita quick sikit lah, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so according to Jessie, why do many people undergo plastic surgery? They want to get a better job. They want to feel deeply contented. They want to try something new all the time. Okay, so you heard a conversation about plastic surgery. So, Brenda, what do you think about plastic surgery?
What do I think about it?
Would you ever get it done? It's very common these days.
I've never really thought about it. To be honest, Jessie, I don't think I would. It seems so unnatural. I can't understand why people do it.
Well, maybe people don't like their faces, or they think it will get them a better job. Okay, so based on the conversation about plastic surgery between Jessie and Brenda, which one is they are focused on why do people undergo plastic surgery? They want to get a better job. It is mentioned here. They think it will get them a better job. Okay, let's check the others. Are they mentioned? They want to feel deeply contented. They want to be happy. Is it mentioned here? No, they did not mention. They want to try something new all the time.
No.
Either. So again, this is a direct answer question, meaning dia dah jawapan satu je. There's no like close answer. So you just listen and you should get the answer. Yeah, A. We have a few of you answered A. I think all of you answered A. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's correct. They want to get a better job based on their last thing mentioned by Jessie here. Okay. Dia nampak jelas.
Contented ni here means rasa macam bersyukur lah kan.
They want to feel
So,
deeply
yeah.
contented, like happy with what they get, blessing, things like that. But I thought that's the opposite of last je. Again, that's just prior knowledge. Nampak? Prior knowledge boleh mengganggu. Kalau dia jawab dalam audio clip, it's still correct. Because not because of your prior knowledge. But they are not mentioned. So, okay, good for us. The answer is A.
Don't impose your prior knowledge to the question.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. You might be a better person who understood more about prior history, but that's not the case here. Kena ikut audio tu lah. Based on the conversation.
Okay.
And lastly, for part 1, we have question number 7. Okay, from the weather forecast, we know that daytime temperatures will soar beyond the 30s. Saturday morning is a good day for a picnic, and light showers are expected in the late evening. Okay, so good evening. This is your weather forecast for Saturday. For those planning an outdoor morning picnic tomorrow, go ahead and get ready. You can expect fast skies for the most part of the day, with temperatures in the low to mid 20s. Nevertheless, this is set to change by evening with a storm brewing. Expect light showers in the early evening and late evening thunderstorms over the southern part of Kuala Lumpur. Okay. So we have daytime temperatures will soar beyond the 30s. Most of the day will be around low to mid 20s. So A is incorrect. Saturday morning is a good day for a picnic. Yes, based on the announcer. Light showers are expected in the late evening. No, it's only in the early evening. Late evening, there'll be a storm. Okay, so that is incorrect. And yes, we have Akil and someone's girl, Nurul Jannah. They answered all B.
Where's Alif? Alif's gone. Alif, come back. Sebentar ya, I need to call him. What happened to him? Alif, come back. Sebentar. What happened?
My network is becoming.
Cuma sis.
No. I am fine. Don't worry. Wait, where is the slide?
Bila tinggal.
No, I won't leave you alone. Don't worry. But yeah, the students answered correct. Morning, a Saturday morning is a good day for a picnic. That I saw the answer when I want to press something and my computer reload itself. Okay.
Okay, so the answer is
B. Yes, correct. Saturday morning is a good day for a picnic. Okay, so we're trying to guess the meaning of an unknown word. This is a continuation of the tips earlier. Always look for the context, the words before and after it, as well as the previous and following sentences. Kadang-kadang ada lah. Look for clues in the word itself. See if it is similar to any other word that you know. Maybe there is a prefix, suffix, different form of the word. Maybe you can agak-agak the meaning if this is suitable for you. And then we have you're going to determine what part of speech it is, so you can guess if it's related to action, and so on. Adjective, what it describes and stuff. If it has a positive, negative, or neutral meaning. Okay, what kind of meaning is it? Like sad is a negative meaning word, and then happy is a positive meaning word, and so on. So you can guess lah apa yang akan berlaku dalam ayat tu. What general topic it is related to, and what it means approximately. You can guess. This is for those that you don't know. I can't say don't know at all, but you know some words, but some words you need to guess. Inilah cara-cara antaranya lah. Kalau you tak tahu langsung zero, that might be difficult for you. But if you know a little bit, you should be fine as long as you can guess based on context.
Exactly.
Okay, and we move on to part 2.
Okay, for part 2, again, it's going to be a multiple choice question. But for this part of the test, it's going to be a little bit different because unlike part 1, for one audio, you will have one question. But for part 2, the long monologue will cover 8 questions. So the tricky part here adalah when it comes to part 1, it is difficult because you have all these distractors and whatnot that will hinder you from identifying the specific information required. But for part 2, because the audio is long and no one will tell you question 9, question 10, question 11, no one, the recording
Mm-hmm.
will not have that. So you must be able to make sure that when you read the questions and when you listen to the audio, both skills and both deria ni parallel, bergerak secara selari. You cannot be reading question number 10 but then the audio is already at question say number 12. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be a problem. Okay, so let's move on to next slide.
Yeah, I think another thing is kertas soalan tu banyak kurang kosong. Use it. Yeah, doodle some keywords that you
Betul.
listen. Especially this part. Maybe part 1 is easier sebab dia satu-satu, right? But for part 2 and part 4 especially, it's a whole long, audio clip. So conteng lah if you think that's the keyword for the answer or something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, so we move on to the next point.
Slide. Okay. All right. Now, for part 2, what you can do to ensure that you reading the questions and you listening to the audio can work parallel, work together. What one thing that you can do is you can look out for signposting language. So what is signposting language? Signposting language yang I give you clues that they are going to transition from one idea to another idea. Contohnya, moving on to the next points. So this can help you to notice when the speaker will answer the following questions. So the
Okay.
questions are going to be in chronological order. So you answer one question at a time. Once you've, let's say, answered question 10, don't dwell on it anymore. Move on to question 11. Later, when you listen to the recording again, then you go through the questions again. But don't dilly-dallying, duk tengok lagi question 11 when the audio is already move on to next question, question 12. Okay, so another signposting language that we have ni ada banyak lah, we cannot list everything, but I feel if let's say you do practice like what Mr. Alif gave you just now, which is when you look at the question, you also look at the transcript, you'll be able to become more aware of the signposting language that used in the listening text. Okay, so you want to know about, I guess I could start with, anyway, the house itself. I could go on about, or maybe you like to hear about. So contoh kita tengok. Anyway, about the house itself. Okay, it's quite different from our old flat. So dekat sini, this is a subtle signpost that indicate the speaker is already transitioning to describe the new house. Okay, it's quite different. No longer, awal tu probably the speaker is describing their old flat. But now, bila dia kata anyway about the house itself, this is transitioning to describing the new house. So students who catch this will know how to listen carefully for details about the house in the following sentence. Okay. Now, kalau you do practice, macam Mr. Alif showed you just now, you look at the questions and at the same time, you look at the transcript. Okay, tapi I would not really recommend for you to look at the transcript the first time you do the practice. The first time you just do it as usual, and then the second time probably you can listen. When you want to check, you listen and then you check for the transcript as well. When you are able to recognize signposts ni, it will allow you to anticipate the kind of information that is going to come next. So you dah boleh agak-agak ada apa benda dia akan cakap ni. Bila you know how to identify, oh dia ni nak transition from one thing to another. This will prepare your brain untuk listen for specific details that's coming after. Okay. When you can identify main points and transitions yang berlaku through signposting, through the use of this language, kalau kata macam mana nak bagi senang untuk you faham signposting language ni. Okay. Imagine writing paper. Kan? Writing paper, writing paper, sorry. ada kerja masuk. Writing paper ni, your teacher will always ask you to use cohesive devices, correct or not?
Yep.
Okay, cohesive devices will ensure that you have a really good organization of your essay. Your essay will be well organized. People will be able to follow through your idea. Your idea will be well linked. So look at signposting language like cohesive devices. In when we speak, we don't really use cohesive devices as in written form tu.
Betul.
First and foremost, we don't really use that. Kan, kita tak pakai sangat, but we use all this instead. So this signposting language ni lah yang we cannot give you the list, but if let's say you go through the transcript every single time you do listening practice, I think that it will make you become more aware of the kind of language, the different signposting language used in listening text. Okay,
Yep.
boleh ke? Boleh.
Senang ingatnya macam cohesive device kan, betul tak? It is a different form more towards a speaking version. If you want to take it as a simple version lah, bukan exactly the same but they are similar.
Bit different. You tak boleh kata first and foremost, secondly, thirdly, tak ada. We don't have that in listening. Sebab listening ni, you listen to people talking. So speaking punya language is not like that. Okay? Alright, next. Boleh sikit cikgu. Am I being too fast? I laju sangat ke? Okay, next slide please.
Yeah, tip number
Alright.
2.
So next strategy will be choose the best answer. Cliche dah.
But not really.
Ada every time dia kata apa ni. Choose the best answer. But then again, the trick here is how. In long monologues, the key to choosing the correct answer is to focus on the main idea or the common point or the most emphasized detail. So even though multiple options may be mentioned in the audio, the correct answer typically reflects the central theme or most significant point. Okay, sebab dia panjang. Dia banyak benda that you need to summarize. Okay. So when we talk about choosing the best answer, how do you achieve this? First, you need to learn how to identify the emphasis. Apa benda yang dia sangat-sangat tekan. Emphasis ditekankan. Okay. So pay attention to the tone or stress the speaker plays on certain words or points. So remember, kalau cikgu ni bercakap, the teacher, let's say for your speaking test lah, if you ask the teacher to repeat the question again, so certain words yang the teacher feel my students will have difficulties to understand this word, the teacher will stress on the words a little bit. So that is human nature. So I don't know why you would do something like this. Okay, so probably you want to talk about reasons macam tu lah. So listen and pay attention to the tone and stress that the speaker plays on certain words and certain points. So normally the correct answer is often the one that the speaker spends the most time trying to explain or highlighting. It cannot be macam part 1 yang just mention macam tu aja. Because part 1, the audio is very short. But for part 2, the audio is longer. Kan, dia long monologue. So when let's say we talk about it, we mention it first time and we mention it again, so probably that is the answer. And then look for repeated ideas. So ideas yang repeated ni probably the answers as well. So kalau kata concept tu mention once, okay, more than once, probably it is important that you need to take note. So a speaker may mention multiple details, but then the speaker might repeat or elaborate on the key one. Kalau kata benda tu lah jawapan dia, tadi dia sebut, bawah tu disebut lagi sekali. Okay. Ignore distractors. So how do you ignore distractors? Distractors ni macam part 1 are words that used to distract you from identifying the correct answer. So it's not apa nama kita panggil wrong answer, no, everything going to be mentioned, but most importantly contohnya. Okay. However yesterday, however for today, macam tu, it's different. So these distractors ni ada mention, but it is not the main focus. Tapi how do you identify all these distractors? By, listening to different kinds of audio, and also look at the transcript to identify these are the distractors used untuk bagi tahu I pilih jawapan yang salah instead. Okay. And then listen for summarizing phrases. So when you when you did the first activity with Mr. Alif just now, you'll be able to notice that certain things bukannya exactly like it is written, mentioned in the audio. What's written in the question is not the same as what you hear in the audio. So you must learn how to summarize, how to paraphrase. Macam tu. Boleh ke? Kak I laju sangat. I takut I laju. Okay. But tak apa. Let's do one activity. Next slide, Alif.
Is it this one?
Okay. If you repeat it, you will not reject the mark to the teacher. You will not reject the mark to the teacher. Okay.
Sorry.
Ali. Oh, tak laju. You can. Okay. Alright. Let's look
Okay.
at this question. What's the main reason the writer moved to Spain? So like part 1, if the question asks you what's the main reason the writer moved to Spain, what you can expect for this kind of question is they will probably mention more than one reason.
Yep.
Betul tak?
That's a
But-
distractor. Macam I said.
Yeah. So there are going to be lots of distractor. But here, the question wants to know the main reason. Apa sebab utama? Okay. So Alif, can you see the transcript?
That's great. Want me to read for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what everyone knows about Spain is that the climate is perfect for writers. And I'm a bit of an amateur chef, so it's great to be surrounded by good restaurants and fresh ingredients. But despite that, I would have stayed in Malaysia had it not been for my partner. She wanted to be close to her family, whereas it's quite easy for me to work from anywhere in the world.
Can you guess which one is the correct answer, or do you want Mr. Alif to repeat? Allah. I dengar macam anak I jatuh. Okay, Mr. Alif, can you please repeat the question? Repeat
The audio.
the audio.
All right. What everyone knows about Spain is that the climate is perfect for writers. And I'm a bit of an amateur chef, so it's great to be surrounded by good restaurants and fresh ingredients. But despite that, I would have stayed in Malaysia had it not been for my partner. She wanted to be close to her family, whereas it's quite easy for me to work from anywhere in the world.
So which one do you think is the correct answer? Is it A, the weather? Is it
few,
B, his
pattern.
wife? Or is it C, the food?
We have
So we have...
B, and C.
Okay, next slide, Alif. Okay. So, which one is the correct answer? What everyone knows about Spain is that the climate is perfect for writers. So this is relevant to answer A. And I'm a bit of an amateur chef, so it's great to be surrounded by good restaurants and fresh ingredients. So this one is relevant to answer C. But despite that, I would have stayed in Malaysia had it not been for my partner. So the correct answer is C.
The partner, aka the wife, because she mentioned here. So this is a male lah. Kalau dia kata husband, mungkin this is a female, so this will be her husband or something like that. But partner, the keyword here is partner kan. Dia tak cakap wife directly. So that is where the thing that you have to guess based on context lah.
Okay, next.
Okay.
Let's try with this question. What is the most A common reason for the gallery not exhibiting an artist's work. Is it A, the subject matter is unsuitable? Is it B, it is not of a high enough quality? Is it C, the gallery manager doesn't like it? Okay. So sama juga macam tadi, the most common reason. So you can expect that in this part of the for questions like this, there will be multiple reason for why the gallery do not want to exhibit an artist's work. But here we want to look at which one is the most common reason. Okay. Let's. Oh, I tak berbual ni ah.
That's the transcript is in the notes.
Transcript. I don't think. Yeah, okay. Transcript is in the notes. Okay, should I read it? There are
Sure.
several reasons why a gallery won't show the work of an artist. It could be that the topic is of a sensitive nature and may offend some people, or that the work looks cheap. More often than not, it's down to the personal preference of who is in charge. Do you need us to repeat? Should I repeat the question? Oh, mereka ni lambat sikit. So, kita tanya sikit kan baru
We're
mereka nak
just
jawab.
dia
Okay,
punya delay stream.
okay. I'm going to repeat the transcript. Listen carefully. There are several reasons why a gallery won't show the work of an artist. It could be that the topic is of a sensitive nature and may offend some people, or that the work looks cheap. More often than not, it's down to the personal preference of who is in charge. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer?
I think the keyword is more often than not, the signposting that you mentioned earlier. That is, if you get that part, you should in answer.
Is it A, the subject matter is unsuitable? Is it B, it is not of a high enough quality? Or is it C, the gallery manager doesn't like it? Next slide. So, yep. Someone says C, good. Is it C, Akil? Check again. Okay, like what Mr. Alif said, more often than not. Okay, is the signposting yang I mentioned earlier. So more often than not here means most commonly. So it is synonyms lah, synonyms. Okay, this one is a bit tough. All right, moving on to next question. Okay, Alan says, Alan says that his customers on the ghost walks. So this is you listen to recording about Alan. Alan is actually the tour guide in one of the haunted house lah. So Alan normally will take his customers on ghost walks. All right. So Alan says that his customers on the ghost walks, A, are never disappointed. B, want to be frightened. C, laugh at all his jokes. Alan?
All right. Well, obviously these are ghost walks, so it wouldn't be much fun if there wasn't a bit of fear involved. Not too much, of course. We often have children in the groups, so we have to be careful. But people expect to be scared and they'd be disappointed if they weren't. So we aim at least to give them goosebumps and perhaps even a little fright, after which they all laugh nervously and enjoy the release of tension.
Which one do you think is the correct answer for this one? So for this particular question, kita kena laju sikit lah no, Alif, no? Okay, next slide, Alif.
Next slide. Okay, the
Okay,
transcript's there.
so for this particular question, when you look at this question, all right, Alan talks about fear. So fear is relevant to answer B. Well, obviously these are ghost walks, so it wouldn't be much fun if there wasn't a bit of fear. Okay, so relevant to answer B. Next, he also mentions that people might laugh nervously. Okay. After which they all laugh nervously, enjoy the release of tension. So this one is relevant to answer C. But then again, we have to remember, okay, laugh nervously because they were scared. Okay, but it is not because they laugh at his jokes. So
Mhm.
C ni kurang sesuai. And then
Okay.
the word disappointed. The word disappointed is used. They would be disappointed if they weren't. So disappointed word use is relevant to A. But then again, you have to bear in mind the whole context is people expect to be scared and they'd be disappointed if they weren't. So here, kalau orang tak takutkan mereka, then only they will be disappointed because people expect to be scared. Okay, so here the correct answer should be B. People
B.
want to be frightened. People expect to be scared and they'd be disappointed if they weren't. Alright, so for part 2, yeah, correct Jannah. The answer is B. Now, for part 2, I think you merasakan ia ni susah. It's
Mhm.
because just now, for part 1, you did the practice while looking at the transcript.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's the
Now,
difference.
now you have to really focus on listening. Okay, so notice how when you look at the transcript, it helped you greatly to increase your awareness on the kind of language used, on the kind of distractors used to distract you. But when you listen sahaja, you macam terdistracted, terdistracted. Okay, so that is why it is very important when you do practice, you do it correctly. Bukannya setakat teacher, I did a lot of listening practice, but then when you don't look at the transcript, dia macam tidak, dia macam kurang sikit lah bermakna. So the kind of practice that you want to use moving forward should be the one that comes with a transcript. Okay, next, part 3. Let's go to part 3. It's already 9:15.
Oh yeah. Part 3. Okay, this is still short macam part 1 juga, but you have to match. Speaker number 1 would say about which answer. There will be a few answer choices. 2 of them will not be used. Okay, nanti kita tengok. Alright, so before, prior to the listening part 3, when matching statements with each respective speakers, listen each text and look for the specific information mentioned in each statement. Okay, you have to listen to all of them and look for the specific information that is needed based on the particular question. Find the part of the text which correctly answers the question. Okay, tadi saya cakap sama aja. Be careful, don't choose a text just because the vocab or phrasing in the text is similar. Okay, vocabulary dengan phrasing sama, just like before lah, disappointed, all those words were used, but they are not the answer. Kan, it's similar with the other parts. Okay. Listen to what each speaker says rather than focus on the words you read. Okay, sometimes when you read the answer first, it can, not all the time, but sometimes it can be a distractor to you. Sebab you have to remember 2 answers are not used. So maybe let's say answer A and B tak pakai, not in the answer scheme nanti. However, answer C might be similar with B earlier. They might use the same words, but then mungkin lah macam dia letak not kat tengah-tengah tu ke, I don't know. We have to check the question, but those are some of the version of distractor yang akan wujud lah bila you come to part 3. So not necessarily what you read to, let's say the keyword is sad, and then you listen to the order, ada sad juga. But there's another answer that is the correct answer, but they might phrase it differently. So kena dengar. Sentence A and G will probably have a lot of things in common. See, like I said earlier, dia mungkin sama. Read the sentences and underline the important words during the 30 seconds if you could. You ada sempat, kalau boleh, garis yang mana keyword-keyword dia yang you think they are keywords.
Yeah.
Identify how they differ from each other, especially if answer A and B are close to one another. So this is where you highlight.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try a few questions. So there will be, questions 16 until 20. You will hear 5 short extracts in which students talk about what they do to help protect the environment. This part akan berubah lah ikut soalan environment ke apa ke, that's the different part. But the format should still be the same. So for question 16 to 20, choose from the list A to G what each speaker says. Use the letters only once. There are 2 extra letters which you do not need to use. You will hear the recording twice. Ini yang saya abang tadi, where 2 of the letters, 2 of the sentences are incorrect and they serve as a distractor to you. They might have a close meaning with another letter. Okay. Alright, so speaker 1. Speaker 1 is question number 16. So you just put which letter you think is the answer based on A and to G. So, okay, before I go to speaker, maybe Teacher Emma can help read the sentences A and to G.
Okay, speaker 1. Protecting the environment is important to humans and every other living thing on earth. I try not to buy things I need to use for a short time. I usually rent and buy things at garage sale, secondhand, and thrift shops. When I go shopping, I always bring my own reusable bags rather than use plastic bags from the shop.
Alright, so what do you think is the main idea from speaker number 1, students? Okay, I think the keywords are things that related to 3R, like reusable bags rather than new plastic bags every time you go. Second hand, thrift shops, benda kedai yang jual barang-barang. And second hand is the common way of saying it nowadays. I think kids likes to say pre-loved or something like that. Okay, condition 99%, things like that. Those are second hand items. And those are some of the keywords that speaker 1 used. So you can see that he or she is talking about something reusable. So let's check the answer choices in this case. So A should be turn off the light during Earth hour to save. Not related at all. Okay, no Earth hour mentioned here. So senang lah. For question 16, you boleh eliminate siap. Okay, it's not the answer. Sharing vehicles to any destination helps to improve air pollution. Something about a vehicle and improving air pollution, not mentioned here. Remove B. Using reusable materials can help protect our environment. Okay, this is very close. So, this could be the answer. Kita tengok ada distractor yang lain tak? So, for C, we lock in C dulu. Save water by taking short bath. Nope, not water related. Walking and recycling are good for our health. Speaker 1 did not mention recycling, only reusing, reusable things. Switch off electrical appliances when not in use and use energy saving lights. No. Grow more trees and vacant land and keep the environment green. Okay, lucky for us, this question tak ada distractor lain. C is the only answer. So this is easy. Our students, do you get the correct answer? Yes, I think everyone got C.
Try.
Okay. Oh, okay, put D at first and then I think he changed. It's good. C is the correct answer because there's only one choice. Kali ni untuk question 1 ni tak ada distractor. But who knows, question 17 and beyond we don't know. There might be distractors. Okay, next slide.
Two. I have started a campaign in my school and neighborhood to plant more trees and plants wherever there is an empty piece of land. This is because trees provide food, oxygen, clean the air, and help to fight climate change.
Alright. So yang ni another tip I want to bring out. I dah buat masa reading dulu with Mr. Imran long ago, which is the process of elimination. Use this for this section. Why? Kita jawab C tadi. We were confident with C, tak mau tengok dah. So potong siap-siap C. C should never be used again. Especially kalau dia tak ada distractor yang sama. Like say jawapan E and C sama. No. Since tak ada, you can remove C. So C should not be used again. Something about reusable dah pakai. Speaker 1 dari question number 16. So question 17, the speaker 2 is talking about trees, pokok. Right? Planting more trees, giving us food, oxygen, clean air, and help fight climate change. So back to trees. A, tak ada. Earth hour, no. B, vehicles, not related. D, water. C dah buang. Remember the process of elimination. Use grading paper punya skill here. This one you can apply. C tak ada. D is also incorrect because of water. E, walking and recycling. So kita dah baca tadi, so I make it a bit faster kan. So E tak ada juga because it's something about recycling and walking. F, switching off electrical appliances. This is at home, so bukan. Outside, grow more trees and vacant land, and keep the environment green. Yes, this is the only one related to trees juga. And oxygen. We have like 2 or 3 keywords here that is related to trees. Okay, so Yani again, lucky for us, another question without distractors. I think the distractor one yang vehicle or electrical appliances or something. Maybe the speaker mentioned both. So far we are lucky. Question 17 pun tak ada. Yeah, I think all of us put G.
All the more reason for them to get it right.
Yes. So again, remember process of elimination, C and G, buang siap-siap so that you won't get confused for next questions. But yang ni yang senang lah, orang kata kan, senang sikit daripada soalan lain.
Yeah.
So we go ahead to the next question.
Can I just point out one thing? Some students, they like to give up midway. If let's say they miss first half kan, okay, they like to give up. When actually, if you continue and persevere, you might be able to, bump into easy macam murah pula. Free punya jawapan ni.
Yeah.
Betul tak? So you cannot sleep ke, give up midway, you cannot.
Yes. Mungkin part 2 susah. Sometimes you're lucky, part 3 senang. We don't know. Kan?
Yeah.
Is your luck? I cannot foresee any SPM questions. I'm not the one who makes the question, unfortunately for you. So tak boleh nak bocor-bocor kan. However, like what teacher Aiman said, don't give up. Try. Some of the questions are easy. Okay. Don't give up yet.
Okay. Speaker 3. I always check to see the taps are turning off to avoid drips and that water doesn't run when I'm not using it. I prefer to take short showers rather than long baths because less water is used. The less water you use, the less wastewater ends up in the ocean.
So this is related to water. If it were me, I pejam mata, I jawab D, right? Because it's the only choice. But you are a student, you need to listen to the keywords. So the keywords here is, for D, they say save water by taking short bath. So the speaker, they said, I prefer to take short showers rather than long bath. That's the keyword mentioned there, dekat line situ lah, tengah-tengah tu. Because less water is used. Okay, but for me, because again, sometimes I can be overconfident when answering listening question. So terus jawab D. Just imagine I'm the student yang overconfident lah. Terus jawab D because there's only one choice. Lucky for me, that's the only answer available. However, kalau ada dua, kena dengar. Sebab sometimes maybe the answer is something about the tap water you need to turn off. Kan, you have to listen to distractors. I should have taken a question yang ada dua distractor. Somehow tak jumpa for today. You might have noticed this in your trial or something. Ada yang that question ada 2 distractors. That is quite common actually. Yang tu kelirukan awak. Okay, we have like 5. Can we skip question 4, 5, 6? 4 and 5, sorry. Teacher Aiman go to part 4. Is it okay? We have like less than 10 minutes.
Okay, let's move on to part 4. Okay, now this part is note completion. I think many students, I don't know why, many students find this part of the test to be difficult. Okay, but then Alif, as I mark their, as I was marking their listening paper, I noticed that sebab students I ada dalam ni kan, I noticed that actually they're able to identify the correct answer. It's just that the reason why some of them got wrong is because they don't spell it correctly. You mentioned just now spelling, Spelling is mandatory. Correct spelling is super important in part 4.
Still an English paper, spelling betul.
Yeah, even if you are able to identify, even if you are able to identify the correct answer, no, it's making eye contact. You must make sure that you spell the correct answer correctly. Tak boleh abang, tak apalah. Kokok lah ada yang tak jawab lagi kan, tak apa, tak mahu sebut lah.
Okay.
Next slide. Okay. For part 4, one tip that I can give you that is super important is to read and guess. So some students, macam I kata kat you just now, they like to read and then read for no particular purpose. They read the entire text and then the only thing that they are so concerned about is whether or not they are able to understand everything written in that gap text. Bukan macam
Yep.
tu. Okay? No, when you read, as you go about reading through the whole text, try to guess for every single gap what kind of things that you expect or predict the answer would be. Okay? So step 1, you read the entire text dulu. Why you need to read the entire text is because you want to get a clear idea of what the text is about. Okay, this is going to help you to understand the overall message and context. Okay, so basically bila you dah faham, oh okay, this is a text about this particular topic. So these are the things, the vocab yang I know that I've learned probably will be tested. Macam tu lah. So that will give you some sort of idea. Number 2, predict possible answers. Think about what kind of information would fit in the gaps based on what you have read. Guessing beforehand will help you to focus on finding the right details when you actually listen to the audio. For example, nanti I bagi example lah. Next, check for key information. Look for clues in the text that point to specific details like names or dates or place which might fit in the gaps. For example, untuk dates macam ni kan, normally ada certain clue in that particular sentence that you can actually use to guess, oh okay, for this particular gap I will have to write a date, a year, for example, name of the day of the week macam tu. So yeah, pay attention to all the clues. So sebab tu when we ask you to read, it is not to check whether or not you're able to understand the words written in that particular text. Kita okay, I understand this English, this is good English, okay, that's it. But no,
No.
tak ada pun yang scribble, possible answer ke apa ke, tak ada. Alright?
Conting ke tu. You can't keep it anyway. Conting je.
Yeah, conteng aja. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you a few questions. Mr. Alif and I will read the transcript. Will become the audio lah, and I want you to guess the kind of words or suitable answer for every single gap. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, Angela says that it was the something of the spectacle bear that first interested her. So agak-agak kat sini apa? Maybe the shape, maybe the shape of the spectacle bear, or the color of the spectacle bear, or the what? The size of the spectacle bear. Okay. Next, Angela mentions that the bear's markings can be found on its something as well as its eyes and cheeks. So if you look at the sentence that comes after, its eyes and cheeks, it will give you clues that for answer 22, it will be body parts as well. Something as well as its eyes and cheeks. So probably nose, legs, body, or something like that. Next, Angela is pleased by evidence that spectacle bear have been seen in something area of Argentina. So here, we are talking about area. So area tempat lah kot. Kan? So kena pay attention to place, for example. So you supposed to write down. I tak pandai pakai iPad. You're supposed to write down size a possible answer so as you go about doing it. So that later when you listen to the audio, you punya brain ni can easily capture. Aku dah try, tadi tu aku dah formulate dah, ada framework dah on apa benda yang I need to expect. So the moment you listen to the correct answer, immediately you can make sense of it. So let's try with the first audio. I lah kena jadi Angela. Okay. You jadi interviewer.
Okay. So welcome to the show. Tonight we are joined by an expert animal conservation. Thanks for inviting.
Thanks
Okay.
for, thanks for inviting me tonight.
Sorry.
As you know, my main interest is in conservation, and I'm lucky enough to work with lots of different organizations looking after animals, both in captivity and in the wild.
That's fascinating. Can you tell us about your specific interest in bears?
I've been fascinated by all kinds of bears for a long time before I started working in this field, but it was the spectacle bear that really attracted me. Some people find it appealing because of its size and shape, and it's less well known than other types of bear. But for me, I thought it was such a great name. It comes from the patches of yellowish fur around the bear's eyes, which grow in a sort of circle shapes, like glasses. Although these golden markings vary greatly from one bear to another and may not be limited to the eyes, they can extend as far as the bear's cheeks or even chest.
That's really interesting. What makes this bear so special to you?
I like to explain what we know about this bear and why I find it so fascinating. It's the only survivor of a type of bear that once ranged across America during the last ice age. We thought that it was only found in certain places in Venezuela and Chile, but I was thrilled to read some reports that suggested that it might also be living in northern parts of Argentina and eastern Panama. So, do you think you can find the answer, students? Hmm? Okay, let's look at next slides. Admin kata, cikgu, cikgu, cepat-cepat. Sebentar,
Last one.
admin kita kejap. Okay, so yeah, this one. I've been fascinated by all kinds of bears for a long time before I started working. Okay, but it was a spectacle bear that really attracted me. Some people find it appealing because of its size and shape. Ini adalah orang lain. Okay, remember the question asks you, Angela says that what of the spectacle bear that first interested her? So jawapan dia adalah kat sini. But for me, I thought it was such a great name. So jawapan dia adalah the name of the spectacle bear. Next, Angela mentions that the bear's marking can be found on its what as well as eyes and cheeks. The answer is chest. Just
Chest.
now we predicted that the answer for 22 would be the body parts. So kita tak tahu body parts apa lah. Tadi kita kata hidung lah, kaki lah, apalah kan, kepala lah. But actually it's the chest.
Because
Okay,
eyes
next
and
question.
cheeks dah abang dah. So the other one is chest.
Yeah. Next. Angela is pleased by evidence that spectacle bear have been seen in what area of Argentina? If you look here, we predicted that the answer for 23 is going to be a place. So kalau students answered America, tak sesuai lah. America area of Argentina, it doesn't make sense. Okay, and then certain places in Venezuela area or Argentina, tak sesuai. Or Chile area of Argentina, tak sesuai. But I was thrilled to read some reports that suggested it might also be living in northern parts of Argentina. So the answer is northern. Kalau you terlepas northern, you dengar eastern saja, most probably you're going to be answering eastern area of Argentina.
Yeah, careful.
Okay. So, yeah. Next question. We want to very quickly skip. Okay. Next. The speaker began her lecture by reminding parents that a what can be dangerous for small children. Parents who want to know more can find the what of the Royal Life Saving Society website on the fact sheet. So reminding parents that something can be dangerous for small children. So ni dia kata apa? Kita pun tak tahu konteks kan. So kita kena dengar lah dulu. Because tak bagi konteks apa-apa, life saving saja kan. Kita pun tak tahu. Saya tak tahu semua. Tadi biasalah tak teringat. Okay, Alif, our lecturer?
Welcome to the. Sorry, is that the same one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Today we have a special guest who is going to share some valuable tips on keeping children safe around.
Sorry.
What?
Oh, I tak bubur
Oh, that's not the correct one.
It's not the correct one. Sorry. Sebentar.
Uh,
Wait nah.
is it not that
Oh,
one?
okay, betul.
Betul kan?
Betul.
Okay. So,
Yeah, betul. Correct. Okay, you start first.
thank you for joining me. This week, the temperature across the country will be hitting 30 degrees and above. So, jumping in the swimming pool sounds like a pretty good idea, right? But if you have little kids, you need to know that a pool can be an extremely risky place for them. I'm really glad to be here today to talk to you about keeping your children safe in the water. Oh, and if you want more information afterwards, I have copies of a fact sheet from the Royal Life Saving Society here. And you can also visit our website. The address is printed on the back.
Okay. So, next slide. Kita laju sikit lah. Dah nak habis dah masa. Okay. Alright, so the first answer, 21, is reminding parents that a pool can be dangerous for small children. Okay, I think pool students can spell. It's not difficult. Parents who want to know more can find the what of the Royal Life Saving Society website on the fact sheet. The answer is address. And find the address. Okay, so here the answer address tu, if you spell address with only one D, wrong. If you spell address with only one S, wrong. Spell address correctly, even if dah dia identify to spell lah correctly. Okay, moving on next. No, tak boleh pools. Shafiq Irnin said pools. Look at the question again. It cannot be pools. If you answer pools, then it is wrong. Why? Because for 21, before the blank tu, there is article ada di situ. So it cannot be a pools. It's not grammatically correct. It has to be a pool. P-O-O-L without S. Thank you very much, Shafiq, for giving us a very good thing to point out. Okay. The next question. A baby can start swimming lessons when he or she is what? Months old. So here, probably we are looking at what?
The
Numbers
age.
lah kot, no?
Numbers.
We're looking at numbers. Okay, let's try. Alif?
I think, saying our time is up. Simon. Let's
Okay,
finish.
habis dah. Okay. So, yeah, our time is up. Kita terpaksa berhenti di sini saja.
You can check the materials later.
Okay, if you have any question or if you want to revise, you can go through. Actually, Alif and I last year we have already covered listening. Both of us have already covered. So probably you can just go through videos from last year, and if you want to do more revision. So it's just that this year we think of doing something different aja lah. Okay, so thank you very much everyone. Baru semangat nak belajar, maaf. Thank you very much, Alif.
Yeah, thank you, Teacher Simon, and
Thank you everyone.
the chance.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Have a good rest of the holiday, people.
Lawak je. Okay. Kali ni kita end for real. Depan pula. Ada. Okay, we're done. Thank you, Yashvin.
Thank you for joining us during the holiday. I think my students more sibuk bercuti.
Ya, my student pun depa blue tick je ai. Inilah nasib kita kan. Macam mana? So sebenarnya admin ni nak end ke tak? So shall we continue?
Jangan Amy marah nanti.
Okay, bye-bye. For real. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, everyone. See you in our next session. Bye.